You're watching KWQC TV, the news leader, making a difference in the Quad Cities. Live from the KWQC Broadcast Center in downtown Davenport with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, a new breakfast option, high in protein and low in sugar. Get to know Chi Chi, a grain-free oatmeal with a local connection.
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat is on stage at Quad City Music Guild in Moline. We'll introduce you to two of the actors in this popular production.
And later, with AI shaping the future of our work, are women being left behind? How one local expert is trying to change that with a first-of-its-kind training series. Hello and welcome to Quad Cities Live on this Monday, June 9th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier.
And I'm Kyle Keel. There's a special fundraiser happening in LeClaire this weekend, and it's all benefiting injured veterans, first responders, and Gold Star kids. Don Drock is one of the event organizers, and Todd DeBryan is the master of ceremonies. And we are talking, of course, about the Patriot River Fest that is in its third year. So this is an exciting time for you guys. So Don, as we mentioned, this is a nonprofit. So talk about who you serve and why you decided to do this.
Well, this is actually a 501c3, so it's a legitimate 501c3. And Wendy Bloomingdale, Annette Black, and myself all decided that we could do this together and then keep all the funding here in Scott County. There's so many different monuments and different places in the Quad Cities, and there's people in the Quad Cities that need so much help. We think this funding can help them.
Yeah,
definitely.
Wonderful idea. And so you guys came up with this idea, Patriot River Fest. How's it been going? It seems to be, people look forward to it now every year.
Well, we're hoping that this year will actually, we've grown every year exponentially.
Yeah.
We're hoping this year will be another milestone that we'll cross. So.
Yeah, I bet it will.
Yeah, lots of activities going on as well. I mean, we're looking at some of the photos from a previous one, a lot of activities for kids and really the whole family.
Right. We start first in the morning at about 7 o'clock with a sign-in for fishing derby. Our fishing derby goes till about from 7:30 to 9:30. From around 9:30 to 10:15, we have weigh-in and hand out trophies for all the kids.
Okay.
Shortly after that, we have a flag folding ceremony, and if you've never been to one, it's really stimulating.
Yeah.
Then we sign up for the poker run at the same time, and 11:30 that actually starts. And that's, we have a pretty good route picked out, and we'll have quite a good selection of prizes to give out after the poker run.
Can I ask what a poker run is? I've heard it being a part of lots of events in different ways.
Yeah.
So can you describe this one for people?
It's a lot of fun. So basically we set a route and there's 5 stops, and the group goes to each of the 5 stops, and they have a specific card. And at each of the 5 stops, they've got to get a stamp that says they were here, they were there, there. And they bring that back when they make the entire route. They come back to the LeClaire levee and they hand in their card that says they hit all 5 stops, and then they draw 7 cards. They get to keep the best 5 of the 7, and whoever wins or collects the best poker hand, 2 of a kind, 3 of a kind, full house, etc., wins the grand prize, which this year is a neon Harley-Davidson wall clock. It's about that big around.
People are going to want that.
It's about $150 value that was donated by our friends at Aunt Hattie's in LeClaire. You guys are probably glad we love those guys. They're awesome. And I would love to have it in my man cave at home, but I'm not participating in the bike ride or the poker run. So somebody's going to get a really cool gift at the end of this one. It's pretty neat.
You're going to be busy, yeah.
And once the poker run ends, we've still got other entertainment, live stage. We'll have a young lady. You got her name? I can't remember it.
Right. Hold, please.
You have live music.
We'll have a lot of live music. Cameron Danielle.
Okay.
Cameron Danielle will be playing a couple of times in the afternoon, and then we'll have Whiskey Business and another group.
Bottom Shelf.
Bottom Shelf.
Oh yeah, we've got it there on the screen for folks, so you guys can see the times and everything if you're a big fan of any one of these
throughout the day.
And throughout the day, we have 6 food vendors and 42 street vendors.
Wow.
Thanks to Jenny Jones, who is our best volunteer.
Aww.
Shout out to Jenny.
Shout out
Brought
Jenny.
in all kinds of good
That's quite a few
suggestions for
vendors.
That's a lot.
vendors, yes.
It's
That's a
going to
lot
be a
of vendors.
diverse offering of arts and crafts
We're
and foods
partying,
and lunches.
we're
Yeah, all kinds
shopping.
of good stuff.
Well,
Awesome.
and it's all for a good cause. Why not come out for a good party for a
Mm-hmm.
good cause?
Absolutely, and that's something that I wanted to ask you about because I was reading about this event, Don, and it is free admission, but there's a suggested donation,
Yes.
correct? So that's really how you guys are collecting and raising money
Yes.
for this
Yes.
nonprofit.
Yep.
I just feel like that's a good thing for people to know going into
is.
this.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. And talk about where this money actually goes, because it, like you mentioned, it stays in Scott County, and
Yeah.
it helps people in our community.
Well, and we've got the cooperation of all the motorcycle clubs in this area.
Yeah.
And one of them happens to buy ramps for wheelchair
Oh, sure.
needs. So why can't we, as an organization, help fund that?
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do. That's just part of it.
Yeah.
You know, we've got the Veterans Park that's going up now down on Marquette Street. It needs some assistance and monies. We can help raise for that too.
That's wonderful.
But it's for all of Scott County, not
Yeah.
just LeClaire.
Not just
Sure.
fair. That is
Okay.
good to know. Okay, so Todd, have you participated in this event in the past?
This is my first year
Oh.
at
Exciting.
Patriot Fest. I also MC at Tug Fest, so I'm not
Oh,
new to that
okay.
area and having the fun there.
Now I know why you look familiar.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. We have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, there's going to be a ton of like bounce houses for the kids.
I was gonna ask.
Don, how
We got
big is that obstacle course?
We got a 100-foot obstacle course
foot,
for
wow.
the kids.
And there's even a bounce house for toddlers that is
Yes.
specific to
That
little.
is so cute.
So
There
the
you
little
go,
kids
Kyle.
will
There
get
we go.
smashed
Yeah,
by the big
got to
kids.
put that on the
And we
schedule.
don't want people, mostly we want people to understand that we're down there to just have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Beer garden. Don't forget the beer garden.
beer garden,
This
live entertainment, food. What else can you ask for?
Shopping. This is quite a party.
Right on the water. Bring your lawn chairs. That's
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lawn
Great
chairs are welcome,
suggestion.
yes.
That's
And
good.
obviously, this is all about having fun and really raising awareness. So what do you want people who are coming to Patriot River Fest to really take away from the event in its entirety?
Look at all these people coming together to help veterans.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That is very cool. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. Anything else people should know before they go?
What about the flags, Don? You want to talk about all the flags you guys
flags?
are putting
We're
up?
putting up 50 state flags, and each one will have a description of the state flower, the state bird, all of the state information on each flag.
Wow, a lot of thought has
And then
gone
a
into
flag
this.
for every military branch.
Yes.
And I know SpaceX is not military, but
We got
could
one of
maybe
them
do.
too.
We have a SpaceX flag.
Well, this is
neat.
it's
Okay.
just a really great learning opportunity too. When you talk about like the little kids that are going to be there, and you know, this is
certainly, yeah.
this is just an awesome
all
way
about
for them
family.
to honor veterans, and
Absolutely.
it's very cool.
It's going to
So
be right there by the Freedom Rock. If you guys haven't checked that
Yeah.
out, that's a good thing to see.
Definitely.
You know, every county in Iowa gets the Freedom Rock, and we were the lucky ones in LeClaire to have that
I
parked right on the
remember.
levee.
Yeah.
We were one of the first. We weren't the first, but
I remember that.
and that's still something pretty cool. to
beautiful.
look at.
Gotta check it out.
It is. It's cool.
Yep.
That is wonderful. Okay, so just a whole lot to do this
Yeah.
weekend. Patriot River Fest is this Saturday, June 14th on the LeClaire Levee. Gates open at 10 a.m. technically. Of course, we got a whole lot going on with the fishing derby before that. The event is free, but again, donations to the nonprofit will be accepted at the gate. And if you want to take a closer look at the schedule of events throughout the day, just head to visitleclaire.com and click on the events tab. Everything you need is right there. Also on Facebook as well for people who prefer that. Don and Todd, thank you so much for being here
Thank
today.
you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Congratulations on another year. Yeah, this is wonderful.
Sounds
Absolutely.
like a good event this weekend. Thanks, gentlemen. Well, just ahead on QCL, grab your spoons because breakfast is getting an upgrade. We'll learn more about Chi Chi, a high-protein oatmeal created by two college roommates in their dorm room.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, we are serving up something fresh, flavorful, and full of protein.
Yes, Chi Chi is a groundbreaking chickpea breakfast cereal that's changing the way that we think about the most important meal of the day. And joining us now to talk about it is Dubuque, Iowa native Izzy Gorton. She's the co-founder of Chi Chi Foods. Izzy, welcome to the QCL Kitchen today.
Yes,
Thanks so much for
welcome.
having me.
Yeah, so I love the story behind this because it all started in a
So
college
cool.
dorm room. So give us a little more background on Chi Chi.
Yeah, it started basically out of a need because a lot of people these days are looking for protein for breakfast,
Yes, absolutely.
but they can't find options that are made with simple, natural ingredients and don't have a ton of sugar packed in there. So my friend and I in college literally started rolling chickpeas into an oat shape in our dorm and then giving it to friends and family. And we were just really excited when they really started eating it every day and loved it just as much as we did, because it tastes just like oatmeal, but it's higher in protein completely naturally.
This is so impressive to me. Like, I mean, I don't think anything good came out of like just me hanging out in my dorm room.
Same,
maybe I studied occasionally, but like that's pretty much it. This is really impressive.
This is,
So kind of talk a little bit more about what gave you the confidence to turn this entire thing into a business, because that is kind of just like a scary step.
Like I said, it was definitely like, you're giving people oatmeal that's made out of chickpeas. Like sometimes that can be a hard sell. But what really made us like more confident is when we started at farmers markets, and then we expanded to build our website online, and then people were ordering it from places I'd never even been, and reordering it and eating it every day. So like at that point, we were just really excited, and we were ready to like expand into grocery stores and really keep growing the business.
So what type of grocery stores are you guys in then?
Yeah, we're in about 35 grocery stores across the U.S. We have a lot of grocery stores in LA, some in New York area, but we're really excited because we just got a big PO from a super huge retailer that I can't announce yet.
Oh boy, little teaser.
Stay tuned, stay
little
tuned.
Teaser. Okay, so I mean, when you were making this in your dorm room, it sounded like you guys just wanted to do this for yourselves to have a better breakfast. Did you ever think that this was going to build into the business it is today?
Honestly, like, I was a little bit crazy. My first thought was like, I want my kids to have this in our kitchen. I want this to be in every like Whole Foods, every Target across the U.S. So like, when you're that confident, we had goals for sure.
Oh, I love that.
That is very, very cool. Okay, so how do you cook this? Like, is it similar to how we would cook oatmeal, and like how quickly can you cook it?
Yeah, it's super easy to make. It's just like oatmeal. It cooks in just 3 minutes in the microwave or on the stove, and you can make it with water or milk, but I really like making it with milk. I made these in your microwave in the break room today.
All right, so we can try it.
And you guys can try it. This is maple brown sugar. It's my favorite flavor, actually.
And apparently we hear
it's amazing.
It's the favorite amongst the people as well, because it's selling like hotcakes off your website.
Chi-Chis.
Yeah, like Chi-Chis.
Yeah.
That is very cool. Talk a little bit about the other flavors that you have. You have maple brown sugar, which we're about to taste right now, and you've got 3 others?
So we have our original flavor, which is actually our most popular. We didn't have an original at first, but we realized that everyone likes customizing their own oatmeal, and it really doesn't taste like chickpeas. It tastes like a little bit nutty, a little hearty. So the original you can really customize, and then we have some classic flavors. We have apple cinnamon, and then we just added our dark chocolate, which literally tastes like a brownie.
Oh my gosh.
So you can have it for breakfast or even dessert.
Yeah, that is very cool. So I can tell you the texture, it is a lot like oatmeal, but like you use like the perfect word. It's like heartier. Like almost like, it feels like it'll fill you up for the day.
Yeah, it's definitely a really good texture. So, you know, if the word chickpeas kind of turns you off or makes you nervous, you got to give it a try, because it tastes very good. You guys have flavored this up really well.
Yeah.
It's a very good texture.
To be honest, like, I didn't even like oatmeal before because it's a little bit mushy.
Yeah.
But this is a little bit thicker, and you can kind of like, it has a bite to it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just
it sticks to your spoon.
Yeah,
it's very good.
Creamy. I like it even better.
Well, and I noticed on your website as well that you can use this in all kinds of other recipes, and you have those listed on your website, which is very cool.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, people are buying it for one reason, but it can be utilized in other ways, in other recipes.
Yeah, and that's our favorite part, because we can get so creative with it and just like add protein to whatever you're eating.
Sure.
And it's just like a one-to-one substitute for oats.
Very cool.
Yeah, and we always talk about adding protein.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Finding
It's so
different
hard.
ways to do it. So, yeah, sounds like you guys have come up with a really good way. So, have there been any challenges along the way being young entrepreneurs with such a different idea than what's out there right now?
Yeah, it can definitely be challenging. It was definitely good to focus on one step at a time, because it can be really overwhelming. There's always so much to do, but probably our biggest challenge is kind of like explaining it to people, or we struggled with that at first, just because we used to call it chickpea oatmeal, but there are no oats in it. It's just chickpeas.
Yeah.
Right.
So what we really do now is just focus on the story. It's just protein hot cereal. It's high in protein, and it's natural, and it's good for you, and there's not extra sugar or extra powders in there, and it prevents you from having the crash that oatmeal causes, because it's so high in carbs and sugar. And this will keep you full all day and like not feeling bloated or anything like that.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
What are some of the responses that you get from folks who, like us, who love it, who tried it for the first time, but it seems to be, you know, really gaining in popularity? I mean, what have you heard from people, and how are they liking this?
Yeah, people really like it. We actually just changed our texture a little bit. So it used to be more like grits, and now it's a little bit thicker and harder, has a bite to it. And we were really nervous at first, but we got a bunch of great reviews coming in. And it's just like fun to always be improving and never feel like you're stuck if you're getting that feedback from your customers. So we really just like to get a lot of feedback and like to switch things up and just do what people want.
All right, so what's the easiest way we can get our hands on Chi-Chi's right now?
The easiest way is on our website. It's chickpeaoats.com. We ship nationwide. We ship really quickly. And we also sell on Amazon, and that's a great option too for people who are looking to buy their groceries there. But hopefully soon we'll be in a grocery store near you, and if we're not, ask them for us.
That is very cool. I'm sure you're a Dubuque native. I'm sure, I mean, your community is so proud of you, and your family is so proud of you, because what an amazing thing that you guys have accomplished.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
All from a college dorm.
I just can't get over it.
That's incredible. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. And again, if you want to shop online or take a look at the variety of recipes that you can create with Chi-Chi, you can visit them at their website, chickpeaoats.com. And of course, we'll have this on our website as well. Just KWQC.com, Quad Cities Live. Izzy, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being here. Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat is back, and the Quad City Music Guild is bringing it to life in spectacular style. Don't miss our conversation with two of the show's actors up next.
Quad Cities Live continues.
A vibrant and timeless musical is now lighting up the stage at the Quad City Music Guild, bringing the magic of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat to life with performances running through June 15th. This beloved classic reimagines the biblical tale of Joseph, told entirely through song. Joining me now are two of the show's actors, Casey Scott and Jess Fott. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you so much, and thank you for bringing this beautiful piece of the costume.
It's just gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's so intricate.
This is the Technicolor Dreamcoat that we've been hearing so much about. Jess, this is such a well-known show, beloved show. People do it all the time. So talk a little bit about the vision for this particular, guild performance, and kind of what you guys are going for with this one.
So every time we do a show is different, and a big thing is we've done this show, this is our third time. It's once every decade at least. And the last time we did it was 1997, and a big thing that came out, 2007, what am I doing? All my years are wrong. A big thing that our director Karen keeps saying is that she wanted our lighting to be its own character. We have our children are doing so much more movement than last time, so it's always something different than it was before, and I think that's really, it's holding true. And so we've been having so much fun. We've been moving around so much, we're getting along so well. We're really gonna have a hard time Sunday being done.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine. So let's talk a little bit about your characters and the roles you play. Casey, you're Joseph.
I'm Joseph.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's great. I love playing Joseph. I really love the beginning where he gets the coat from his father, Jacob, and he gets to be a little bit of a diva for a few songs. And it's just so fun. There's so much musical range and flexibility. There are the high parts and the low parts. So, I love this role, and I love playing with Jess. We have a scene together. It's so fun.
Okay, so Jess, talk a little bit about the character that you play.
I'm terrible.
Not in real life.
No, I'm a great person in real life. No, I'm a great person in real life. No, I like to come in and just kind of zing and go away, and I really zing this time. I am Mrs. Potiphar, and I've been explaining myself to all of the children. Mrs. Potiphar makes a very bad choice. She is looking out for number one, and she is very interested in Joseph and thinks that he is a great guy. He is a great guy. She forgets that she has a husband and decides to lie, and Joseph ends up in jail because of her lie.
Oh.
And it's not a great situation. And so all of the children in the children's chorus, and unfortunately for me, my own children are in the children's chorus. But so no, we're having to explain to all the children, like, no, there are bad choices, and this is Joseph ends up in jail because of someone else's bad choice.
Yeah,
and it's a lesson. That Joseph is learning, and it's just all of these things are happening to Joseph, even though he's a pretty wonderful guy.
Yeah.
And then that leads to Joseph singing one of the best songs. Don't look when I'm going to say wonderful things about you. Casey has the most amazing song, and it's the children come out, and it's beautiful, and it's worth the price of the ticket alone to listen to Close Every Door. It's so beautiful. And it just gets better and more intense every single night.
That is exciting.
And then we come out and we do Go, 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 Joseph, which is, my husband keeps describing it as a fever dream. It's all of the colors and the excitement, and it's just so much fun.
And speaking of the music, Casey, it really does vary as far as like style and genre, and that's one thing that I've heard a lot about this show.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's the genre and the style of this show. It's really hard to pin it down because it's all over the place.
All kinds of songs.
It's super interesting because the music is written by Andrew Lloyd Webber, who brought us Phantom of the Opera and Cats. So this might sound a little bit different. We've got some French music. We've got some country music.
I love that.
Some calypso. It's everywhere. It's super, super fun.
Yeah, that is really great. So do you have a favorite part, Jess? I mean, I know this is a family affair for you with your children taking part, but the entire show, is there something that is just like your standout #1 favorite part?
I love the Mega Mix.
Oh my gosh.
The Mega Mix is 9.5 minutes of, it's every song that we do. We are all together. And we are all doing the choreography. We're all doing the songs. We are all together. And our music director, Amy, who is doing it all. She is a one-man band down there, and she is keeping everything happening down there.
That's great.
All of the kids will tell you they love the calypso. Because they don't get to sing the banana part. They're really upset about it. But I absolutely love the Mega Mix.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's my favorite.
That is wonderful. Okay, so you guys, the show is underway already, so you have one weekend under your belt. Casey, what has audience response been like? Are you guys feeling loved and supported by the crowds?
So I'm commuting in from Iowa City.
Oh, wow.
I grew up in Davenport. I am so grateful to be back in Davenport and to be with Quad City people again.
Yeah.
They've been so supportive. I have really loved getting to meet people after the show.
Yeah.
I've had friends that I haven't seen in years that have come to the show. Like, oh my gosh, it's been so wonderful.
That's great.
And working with the cast, of course, it's just been amazing.
Yeah. And Jess, before we run out of time, I mean, why do you think this show, I mean, you talk about, every decade or so, you guys do the show, people do the show all the time. Why do you think that it continues to resonate with audiences?
It's timeless.
Yeah.
I mean, it's storytelling. Our narrator, because we can't not talk about Lauren.
Of course.
It is someone telling a story, and there are lessons in the story, there's family in the story, and there's so much to it that people understand. We had one of our cast members' granddaughter who is 3, and she sat through the entire show on a Friday night.
That's saying something.
She stayed awake, she understood it.
Wow.
And then the next day, we got a video of her dressed up as her go-go, and she was singing and dancing, but then we also have audience members that are, 80, 90 years old watching the show and remembering the first time that they saw it. It's a timeless show.
That's a great word.
And it's very understood.
That's a great word, yeah. Well, remaining performance dates are June 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. Tickets are $20 for adults, $15 for children, and you can purchase those tickets either by calling the box office at the number there on your screen or visiting them online, qcmusicguild.com. Casey and Jess, just wonderful always talking with you. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, thank you so much. And still to come in our second half hour, a 3-day opportunity for writers to get direct feedback from published authors and build their craft. We have details on the 20th annual David R. Collins Writers Conference. Plus, using AI to help amplify the way women already lead. We'll learn more about the AI Boss Babe Boot Camp series working to close the gender gap and boost women in business.
accurate and reliable. This is your First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Kyle Keel.
Well, not a bad way to start the week. We've got a little bit hazy conditions out there due to that wildfire smoke in the air, having a slight impact on air quality. We'll get to that in just a moment. But otherwise, it's a mix of sun and clouds on the Everywhere Camera Network. A little more blue sky seen there in Burlington. Man, it's a little breezy out there as well, as evident from the flag there on our Bettendorf camera. But yeah, very nice out there today. Very cool, at least seasonably speaking. Normally, we should be in the low 80s, upper 60s to near 70 for many of us. 68 degrees right now at the airport in Moline. West-northwest wind at about 15 miles per hour. The dew point, 45 degrees. So a very comfortable air mass in place, but we will start to see those dew points increase the next couple of days, as will the temperatures. What's not going to increase is the amount of smoke in the sky. Air quality right now, kind of in that moderate range. So for most of us, this is no big deal, but if you're especially sensitive to air pollutants, you may want to limit your time outside here today. Other than the haze, though, we do have dry conditions. Any rain has been well to our north into portions of Wisconsin, northeast Iowa, and Minnesota. Otherwise, we've got these fair weather cumulus clouds that are wrapping around this low pressure system spinning here in the Great Lakes region. So once we reach sunset, we'll see these clouds dissipate and we'll be left with a mainly clear sky overnight. Temperatures once again fairly comfortable. Maybe a good night to once again keep those windows open as we bottom out in the low to mid 50s. And then tomorrow, kind of a quicker warm up back to near 80 degrees here by this time tomorrow. So we're talking temperatures in the low 80s, and that's ahead of some low 90s possibly here heading into Wednesday. So Exact Track shows what I just mentioned. We'll see a decrease in those clouds here as we head into tonight. We'll keep those winds generally out of the west here as we head into tomorrow. Overall, very nice day. Mostly sunny sky, fair weather clouds popping up with the heating of the day, as again those highs get into the lower 80s. Heading tomorrow night into Wednesday, more of the same, a mostly clear sky, a few clouds by Wednesday morning, but notice those winds, they switch to the southwest. So that means we are talking warmer temperatures here heading into the day on Wednesday. What's going to happen is we'll have a boundary set up here right near the Wisconsin-Illinois state line into portions of Iowa. And along that boundary here Wednesday night into Thursday, we could get some rain and thunderstorms to fire up. I think the highest threat of this is going to be off to the north of the TV6 viewing area, but that's where we certainly could see the potential for a few stronger storms. Here locally, though, the warm-up starts tomorrow, highs in the low 80s, back to the low 90s here as we head into the day on Wednesday. Maybe a little cooler where that boundary hangs out to the north, but certainly feeling like summer here heading into Wednesday. That will be kind of the start of the active period of weather here Wednesday night into Thursday. We'll have off and on storm chances here through Saturday, with highs generally staying in the 80s.
This June marks a major milestone for one of the Quad Cities' most beloved literary traditions. The David R. Collins Writers Conference, hosted by the Midwest Writing Center, is celebrating its 20th anniversary. And this year's conference is packed with new features, free public events, and a celebration of storytelling. Joining me this afternoon is Ryan Collins, Executive Director of the Midwest Writing Center. Ryan, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. This is a very exciting time. I love talking about this with you as a somewhat of a writer myself, a little different from a novelist, but the conference, it's actually 3 days long. It is coming up at the end of this month. So tell us a little bit about it. 20 years is a long time.
20 years is a long time. We're really excited. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it clearly has.
I know the feeling, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're excited. We've got 4 3-day workshops that'll be happening in Augustana the last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of June. And then we've got a couple of evening public events that we're excited about, including a big party at the Hauberg Estate in Rock Island.
Very nice, yeah.
And and so, and you know, we're excited. The conference is for everybody. You know, you say you're kind of a writer, like everybody's kind of a writer. So like, if you're one of those writers, it's kind of like, oh, what's this all about? It's a good time to check it out. For sure.
I love that. Yeah, I get this feeling from this conference every year from times that we've spoken in the past. It's very accessible. You can be really at any stage in your personal writing journey and find benefit. And we will get to some of the things that you're going to be doing, but can I talk to you a little bit about, over these 20 years, how you've seen this conference really evolve?
Sure, yeah, I mean, it's changed a lot. The original version of the conference was called the Mississippi Valley Writers Conference. It started in the early 1970s, and that ran for almost 30 years.
Right, oh my goodness.
And so when the board of the Writing Center brought it back in 2006, you know, it was pretty small. It was at St. Ambrose. The 3-day workshops is kind of like the one component that's been consistent. But you know, we've had writers from all over the Midwest. We've had some really big names like Carmen Maria Machado has taught at the conference. Leslie Leslie Jameson, who's another like very celebrated author, has taught at the conference. Rachel Yoder, she teaches at University of Iowa.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of really amazing faculty over the years, and just the different people that we've been able to partner with, you know, different local organizations that have been on board.
Right.
Writing's in everything, and so it's a great celebration of, you know, just making people more aware of, you know, it's kind of behind the scenes sometimes. I feel like every film everybody's ever seen started as a screenplay, but people kind of forget about the writing component.
They do, yeah.
So this is a great opportunity for us to kind of showcase.
Very cool. Well,
writing
speaking
talent.
of faculty and amazing faculty, tell us about who we're going to hear from this year at this conference. Some of them have ties to the Quad Cities.
Yeah, they definitely do. So Brett Biebel is a professor at Augustana College. He's going to be teaching our short fiction workshop.
Okay.
He's got 2 or 3 books in that vein, and he's never taught with us before, so we're very excited to finally be collaborating, even though we've been neighbors for all this time. And the other instructor who's got local ties is Skylar Alexander, who's teaching our poetry workshop, who actually I first met as an intern in our Young Emerging Writers program, which is also celebrating its 20th anniversary this summer.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So she came to us as a student at North Scott, and, you know, has progressed through her career. She got a graduate degree from NYU. This is her first book of poems. So we're really excited to be welcoming her back, and she does some book design for us too. So her workshop is sort of thinking about how can you think about writing as a visual product and as a designer. And then we have Marguerite Harold, who was here last summer to celebrate the release of her book, Chicago House Music. She'll be teaching like a memoir, nonfiction. Like if you're interested in like doing family stories or maybe stories that require a little research, she's going to be doing that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then our novel instructor is another first-time instructor, Rebecca Entel, who's a professor at Cornell College in Mount Vernon, Iowa. So not too far away.
This is just such a cool opportunity for anybody who is interested in any component of writing to be able to hear from these folks who are doing it. They're out there in the real world and making this stuff happen, which is very cool to be able to pick their brains in that way. There's also some great add-on opportunities as well for participants. So can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, absolutely. So 3 of our 4 instructors are doing manuscript critiques.
Wow.
So if you want to get some direct feedback, if you've got a manuscript you're working on, or if you've been kicking something around, it's an opportunity to get some really brilliant eyes and some input on that work. Or if you're just kind of getting started out and you've got a few things and you're trying to is this something, right? Like that's kind of, I think, a lot of us at any point in our career as writers, we're always kind of asking that question. So having the opportunity to get a little feedback from people like this is important. And then we do some publishing. We have a press imprint called MWC Press, and we take book pitches. So we're open to pretty much anything: poetry, novels, children's books. We've published a little of everything over the years, so we're excited to see what people
work on
maybe
your
have for
pitch,
us.
Which is like, what a cool opportunity. If you want to learn more about the conference, you want to register to attend, just visit the Midwest Writing Center online and click on events, and you will see everything that you need right there. You'll be able to register. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us on the show, and it sounds like it's going to be just a fabulous conference.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And just ahead on QCL, a Quad Cities entrepreneur is on a mission to close the gender gap in AI, starting with a bold new boot camp just for women. We'll learn more next.
Quad Cities Live continues.
Artificial intelligence, or AI, is rapidly reshaping how we work, but not everybody has a seat at the table when those tools are being developed and deployed.
Yeah, that's right. That's where the female-focused AI Boss Babe Boot Camp comes in. Joining us now is Jackie Kelsky, and she is a certified AI adoption consultant and owner of the Pros Co. Jackie Kelsky, thank you so much for joining us.
I was wondering.
Yes,
thank you. Thank you for having me.
Before the segment, and I realized, like, as I was talking, I mispronounced it. So, Jackie, we really appreciate it.
Yes,
we appreciate you being here because you've got an interesting boot camp that's going to be coming up. So we're going to get to that in just a moment. But I think your job is very interesting because it involves AI. So first, tell us how you got your company started.
Yeah, great question. So I started a simple marketing agency about 2 years ago. That's all I thought I was doing, and I figured out really quickly that being an entrepreneur is hard. And so just by luck of the timing, it was when generative AI was coming out, and I started diving in and quickly became an early adopter of it. So people started hiring me to train them. And I was really just teaching myself in my own living room, and I thought I better get certified in this. And so as I went down this path, I realized I'm the only woman in the room.
Wow.
And all of the classes I'm taking are from men. And so I started looking at research about that and found that women are adopting AI at about 25% slower rate than men, if not larger in certain industries. And so I started to dive more into that and learn that most of the research says that just comes down to a confidence gap.
Wow.
In women's belief that they can do it.
Yes.
So
you can do it.
I totally believe that, though. So why are you so passionate, or why do you specifically want to focus this series on women? I mean, where does that come from, wanting to just to make that very specific?
Yeah, I think for me, when I started a business, I didn't have a lot of female entrepreneur role models in my life, and so I kind of had to build a new network. I also just have a psychology degree, so I really kind of nerd out on just mindset, and I'm having to teach myself that now in this season of life. And so community is the best place for us to learn. And so my whole mission is to help people understand that AI is not here to take our jobs. It's really here to help take away the parts of our job that keep us from being human and keep us from being our best selves. And so I want women to feel empowered to use it in their lives and their work so that they can do what they do best.
Well, and also, I mean, this isn't just a benefit for women, for us as individuals. This is very beneficial just for our community, for the local economy in general.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we already know there are gender gaps in the workplace. So if we see a skills gap widening, we're just going to see women having fewer and fewer seats at the table, whether that's missing out on job opportunities or even just input into AI technology as it develops. I mean, they're going to miss out on strategic decisions that drive the future of work, and to me, that's a big issue. And not to mention, if women aren't using this, there's a prediction that U.S. productivity is going to go up 20% in the next few years by Vanguard. That's billions of dollars that we're missing in the U.S. alone. So, it really changes, local economy and global economy.
All for the better. So let's talk about that boot camp you have coming up. So you had one back in May last month, and it was all about ChatGPT. We've all heard about it. You got the one-on-one. So how did that go for you?
It was great. We had a full room of women across all generations, different industries. It was kind of a mix of nonprofit and corporate leaders and some solopreneurs like me. So we had a good mix in the room, and my goal was really just to create a safe environment for women to ask the questions that matter to them. So a lot of ethical discussion around how and why we should be using this, where it makes sense. I heard your segment earlier on writing. We talked about even just how do you write a story for your kids for bedtime. I mean, simple things like how do we simplify motherhood as well as workload. And so we dove into ChatGPT. That was meant to be the introductory course that lined everything up for this course in June on the 18th.
Okay, and so tell us about this course that's coming up, AI in Action. Do we need to have been to the ChatGPT 101, or will we get a little briefing? How will it go?
So that was the intention, but I've had so many people reach out bummed that they missed it. So if you sign up for the June 18th course, which is really building our own AI assistant, so we're going to build custom GPTs. You can sign up for a virtual introductory course, which will just be a repeat of the May class, so you won't miss anything, and you can be set up just like everybody else for the intermediate course.
And you're really setting women up to not only learn but have fun at the same time. So what do you want them to walk away when they attend these boot camps?
Oh, I love that question. I think, no offense to the guys,
not
women outperform men on 11 of 12 emotional intelligence traits. And what most people don't understand is that actual human communication skills are really what you need to be successful with AI. So when we talk about critical thinking, collaboration, empathy, ethical consideration, women are inherently really good at those skills. And so I just want women to walk away feeling like they have what it takes and that this isn't as scary or as intimidating as it may feel.
Oh my goodness, I just love this. Everything about it. I love it.
That's great.
Well, if you are listening, you want to learn more about the bootcamp series and get yourself registered, visit theprosco.com. You have it right there on the screen. And you're going to find that link to sign up. It's in the top right-hand corner right there in yellow. Very easy to do. And we see Jackie there on the home page. We really appreciate you coming.
Yes, thanks so much, Jackie.
Thank you for giving us a platform. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Thank
Keep
you.
up the great work. You're doing great work out there for our community.
Still to come on QCL, our wins of the weekend, including a fun evening just for the ladies. We'll tell you more after the break.
Tomorrow on QCL, we are featuring Quad City Arts. The nonprofit is doing its largest public art installation to date, with 34 sculptures being introduced this month throughout the QCA.
Plus, ahead of National Pollinator Week, we are talking about the benefits of pollinators and how to attract them to your yard. That and more Tuesday at 3 on Quad Cities Live. All right, it is Monday, which means it's time for our wins of the weekend. It was a pretty nice weekend for the most part.
Yeah.
We got some much-needed rain
We did,
yesterday.
yes. Good for the gardens, that's for sure.
Absolutely, especially mine and my poor fern.
Yes.
So we'll start with mine. So I kind of kicked off mine a little early, so I feel like is it okay? Mine was Thursday.
100%.
We had a little ladies evening. So my very best friends and neighbors, we like to plan little things from time to time.
Yeah.
They were having this really fun ladies only event at Swirl, which is the wine bar over by like TBK in that area.
Okay.
It was really fun. They had these little charcuterie cups that they were putting together, and then like these little drink specials that they were like giving you little samples of that they're going to be putting on their menu.
Okay.
So that is Swirl. We've had Marlisa on the show here before, and she's wonderful. And then we all just like split a bottle of wine and chit-chatted. There's about 9 of us.
Oh, nice.
And it was just really, really nice. Thursday evening was a beautiful evening.
I was going to say, sounds like a really relaxing evening.
Yeah, so we had a fabulous time, and then we all like took Ubers out, because like we're going to be tasting a few drinks and stuff. And our Uber happened to be a minivan, and I'm like, you know what? How perfect is it that a mom's night out we get picked up in a minivan, right?
It was very fitting.
It was very fitting.
Yes.
I really liked it a lot. Yeah. So shout out Amy.
Thank
we
you,
appreciate
Amy.
it. Yeah.
Thanks for getting Morgan and her friends home safely.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so my win took place a couple things over the weekend. The farmers market actually ran into Morgan and Darby there as well. But yeah, we went to the farmers market as a family for the first time. Tried this really good bagel place, Renegade.
Ooh,
highly recommend it. The kids got a little smoothie, got some sweet treats from the indoor farmers market. We all split a pizza and then headed over to the Davenport Public Library, the Fairmont branch, for Touch a Truck. This was our first Touch a Truck. Unfortunately, because of the farmers market fund, we got there with 20 minutes left, so we only got to see about 4 of them.
But look at that.
But these kids had a blast, and so I'm already got on the calendar the next one later this month, I think in East Moline or something like that. So we'll be returning, but obviously the smiles tell it all. We actually, Mom and Dad had a good time too. It was you live through your kids these days,
and
it's just so nice to see them having such a
through
good
their
time
excitement. Absolutely, that is so cute. Brittany from the library told us about that just last
and I
week,
actually ran into her as well.
And you went. Okay, very cool, very fun. Absolutely. Well, we want to thank you so much for watching QCL.
Yes, so we'll be back here tomorrow, but in the meantime, your news at 4 with Marsha Lenz is coming up next.